Welcome to Plastic Arts Podcast. Today we're here to break down the Half-Life trailer for Half-Life Alyx. Valve just dropped the trailer today. They promised it on Monday. It's finally here. So let's watch it and reveal some of the news. So on Twitter, they've been updating us with various tidbits about the game. We get a price date, we get a release date. So let's get into it. We have the trailer here ready to go. So we're going to jump right in to the Half-Life Alyx trailer. Got some audio here. It's a pretty short trailer. It's a minute and a half long, actually.
I'm here. So what's the plan?
You see the gloves?
We can get this weapon. What we
Oh
doing?
shit, so they're building that thing in Half-Life 2. Nice.
There's no straight shot to the vault.
The graphics
I'm
look
gonna head inside and find a
amazing.
way out. Got it.
I'm with you every step of the way.
You're gonna need a gun.
These gloves are pretty dope.
It's unloaded now.
That looks great.
They know you're coming. You need to get out of here.
I'm sure this is running on their Index, so this is their high-end $1,000 VR machine. But apparently this is going to be on VR,
Oh God.
various VR units. So
They're gonna find out what he knows, and then they're gonna kill him.
All this is my fault. I never told you.
this is like a CG movie. This is gameplay
You will
footage.
not
Wow.
save him. Alyx Vance alone cannot prevent his fate.
Close your eyes, honey.
Oh god. Yikes. God, looks so fucking dope. Yep. Nice. God damn it. There's no way I can play this game. I don't have anything remotely powerful enough to play this, but that'll be the next challenge, is seeing what, you know, like Digital Foundry, seeing them break down the various rigs and what it looks like across the board. But God, that footage looked amazing. And I imagine that's all in-game stuff. We're seeing cutscenes intermixed in there, but it's all in-game stuff. That's just a testament to they're really trying to push the Valve Index. So I'm hoping that this scales enough to where if you have, you know, whatever other VR unit at home, and it can still look somewhat decent, at least look like Half-Life 2 graphics. I'll take that. That looked amazing. So I'm going to kind of reverse through this trailer. There's various tidbits that stuck out to me, like the first of all, the gloves. Those gloves are really cool. So I imagine this is kind of replacing the gravity gun. They're apparently called gravity gloves or gravity gloves, I've seen online too. So and there's like various, you can see like these little component mechanisms on the gloves as Alyx is using them. And so you can kind of, there's a scene where you pickpocket someone, you grab like a security card. And so I like that component. I imagine they can do a lot of puzzle solving, a lot of gameplay stuff with that, a lot of combat with that. Right off the bat with the trailer, they show Alyx sneaking around and you see this head crab jump out. That's terrifying to me. I imagine that's going to be, those were already creepy enough. So now that you're locked into that VR setting where you just, it's all up close and up your ass. So the fact that those things are crawling around sounds, looks terrifying. There's a scene that reminds me a smidge of the Ravenholm scene or level in Half-Life 2. It's just a very creepy, you're up close with these guys that actually have the head crabs on them. And there's just like a pit of them, and it just looks just nuts. These graphics are pretty fucking amazing. We're seeing it on a super high-end machine, right? We're seeing it at the best light possible. So the next thing is, well, how does this look at Joe Schmo's rig at home? I would just want to watch footage of this. This just looks like a really rad movie. They could have put out a movie, and I would have been fine with it as well. Those gloves are cool. Imagine people are going to be cosplaying with these gloves tomorrow because those gloves are dope. So there was some, along with the trailer, the Valve dropped. There's also, they've been using Twitter, and they're just kind of, seems like that's been the media stream with announcing Alyx stuff. So through their Twitter, they've released some info about the game. So we have an idea on the actual release date. So the actual Twitter page that revealed the trailer is from Valve. The tweet goes as is. So it's, we're thrilled to announce Half-Life Alyx, a new full-length entry in the Half-Life series built by Valve for VR. Return to Half-Life in March 2020. Pre-purchase on now on Steam. And yeah, so they have a price point set up as well. And now it seems like everyone has been kind of working behind the scenes on this game, and it's coming out of the woodwork. Like we have Jeff Keighley announcing that he's been working on a documentary with the making of this game for the past couple months. So he's announcing that that trailer will come out, or that documentary will come out at some point. So this is the game itself happens in between Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2. We have a price point as well, so it's up for pre-order on Steam, and it is $53.99, 10% off pre-order discount. So we're just getting a lot of information now once that trailer dropped, and it's actually from Valve itself and other outlets who have been working on it. So here's another tweet from Valve. Set between the events of Half-Life and Half-Life 2, Alyx fans and her father, Eli, discover a secret that leads them into the heart of the Combine's occupation of City 17. As Alyx give humanity its last chance for survival. Yeah, that was one curiosity I had with them going with Alyx as the main protagonist, because with when you compared Alyx with Gordon was infamously silent for the entire series. So, and she was very talkative, very charismatic. So now playing as her, I wonder if how that changes the dynamic where you're the character that should be vocalizing stuff, but now you're playing as them. Does that change the tone in Half-Life? How do they play around with that? Already it looks like a crazy, awesome Half-Life game. There's nothing really different. It's just your character's talking. I wonder how they change that, if there is any change to be had, any kind of new mood they have to set. But I'm kind of going through screenshots from the actual trailer here. So there's that City 17 with them building that new crazy skyscraper that's from Half-Life 2. They're actively building it. There's cables going to it. Like it's a construction in progress. That looks just super dope. To see the city again, the cityscape of that really depressing City 17 where it's occupied by the Combine, that looks awesome again to see that. The lighting looks nuts. Usually with VR games lately, there's always kind of a dip in the graphical quality, and this one looks like a next-gen game, just happens to run with VR. So that's pretty standout to me as well. At the end of the trailer, we see the G-Man. That's awesome. That's a great way to end that. We haven't seen him in so long, and it looks like almost a younger, version of. Well, I guess he's in that time frame. He's not aging with us. We all look weathered. He looks, pristine. But yeah, it's cool to see him again. He's creepy as hell, as always. You see his eyes glowing first before anything else as he walks in a frame. That's great. Great trailer. It's very short. I imagine they're gonna be unloading, gameplay trailers and other aspects of the game. I wonder how long the experience is. It's $53, so they're not trying to charge a retail price for that. I wonder if that is, well, that could be the 10% off too. So it's like a 10% off discount. That's already pretty close to a regular retail price. So I'm just trying to figure out if that means we're getting a shorter experience. A lot of these VR games are shorter in experience. Another thing here, as I think about this, so all the scenes you show are you in kind of in one place. How are they going to handle the movement aspect of a VR game and not make you nauseous? Are you teleporting? Are you jumping around? How does that change? Does that take anything away from Half-Life, the immersion? I wonder. So I'm combing through Twitter here, hearing all the different outlets respond and add bits more of information here. So we have Ryan McCaffrey of IGN writes, Half-Life Alyx looks fantastic, and it's supposedly as long as Half-Life 2 as well. So this is no 2-hour mini quest. So the question answered as far as, how long is this experience? I'm really curious as to how they deal with the movement. Are they going for a full-blown FPS style where you can move around as much as you want, like you're used to, but that is going to create that nausea? I imagine they haven't fixed that. So are you still having the option to teleport? How do they add that mechanic to the gameplay when we're used to a Half-Life where you're free to roam, free to explore? That's going to be its own issue as well, how they deal with that. Let's go through that trailer again. I just want to experience that again. It was really, really cool. So loading the trailer one more time. Yeah, this opening gives me like Last of Us vibes.
Alyx?
I'm here. So what's the plan?
If we can get this weapon, what we're doing here could change things forever.
That was so dope.
There's no straight shot to the vault.
I mean, if this didn't have a VR component and it was just them,
Got it.
this is just Valve's return to Half-Life, it would be amazing on its own, and it would definitely be enough to live up to the hype of Half-Life 3.
It's unloaded now.
and they're avoiding it by, it's not Half-Life 3, it's Half-Life Alyx, it's a different story. They're avoiding that overwhelming hype already, so you could have released a regular FPS kind of style gameplay, but I like that they've waited for something truly unique to tell the story. The way you load that shotgun pistol is pretty
They're
dope.
gonna find out what he knows, and then they're gonna kill him.
All this is my fault.
Yikes.
I never told you. I couldn't. I'm so sorry, baby.
You will not save him. Alyx Vance alone cannot prevent his fate.
Yeah, that scene with the crazy lighting, and you have those head crab guys, and you're just up close to them, looks terrifying. Yeah, and they end on this scene before the G-Man with looks like a floating ship of some sort with the cables. That's pretty cool. I don't know if there's anything like that I've seen in Fallout yet. It's not the City 17 tower thing. It's like a spaceship. So I wonder how that plays into the story. I'm just super excited, even though I can't play this. Like, I don't have the ability, the equipment to play this. I'm just excited that they're exploring. They're going back to Half-Life in general. That makes me super happy. I don't understand a lot of this weird like anger or disappointment in the community of the fans of Half-Life, because it's more Half-Life. I don't understand what we're worried about here. The VR thing is a hurdle. It's going to limit people from playing it. That's where I'm concerned. But the fact that they're tackling this different story I'm totally on board with that. The mood, everything they've created, I'm totally on board. It's a bummer that it's VR, just in the sense that a lot of people don't have that capability of playing it. So I'm hoping that it's not as bad as it seems so far first out of the gate, where it's like only for crazy high-end machines, crazy high-end VR stuff. Hopefully there is hope out there for us, that where anyone with a decent laptop, a decent rig can kind of compile this thing together. Although at the same time, with the graphics that were like that, you don't want to play this thing when it's not top notch. So yeah, I have mixed feelings. But I'm excited that they're going back to Half-Life. This only shows promise that they're going to hopefully dip back into the well. And I can tell that they waited for some kind of unique experience to tell with the VR thing. I'm hoping that it's not another 12 years before they jump back into it. And this is them really trying to get back to game dev, and not just like the Dotas and the card game bullshit, which makes them billions of dollars. But I have no fucking interest in that. I want Half-Life. I want Portal. I want Left 4 Dead. And I think it's been enough of a time without it, where it's just now the anticipation, the hunger out there is growing. So they can just sell gangbusters by dipping back into that and just trusting the right devs to work on this stuff. So that's really the first initial impressions. I mean, I'm super excited, super hopeful. We'll see as more details release, and as they release the specs, the minimum specs for this. Do your eyes burn out of your skull just reading those specs as they read out what you need to play this game? I'm assuming that's what's going to be the case, but I'm still very excited that we see some Half-Life. This is for sure Half-Life. Like, this is awesome. So I'm pretty positive about it. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you're as excited, if you have the same worries about the whole VR thing and the fact that it's very high-end looking hardware you're going to need to play this. Let me know in the comments how you feel about that. If you're excited, if you're angry, if you'd rather them go with a different story, who knows? Tell me what you think. Just want to get in here for an emergency episode breaking down this Half-Life Alyx. It's pretty big news. I mean, we've gone 12 years with no Half-Life anything, and now we're back into it. So it's pretty dope. Alrighty, guys, that's it for me. We'll see you next week with a regular episode. Bye-bye.